my goal in the first 3 sessions is to try to get to know whatever the patient can tell me about themselves, and to see if I can get a picture of the patient's childhood, how things were for them in the early years in the family, what about when they went to school, how was that, how were separations for them in those early years, were there any major losses or traumatic events, or beyond those, some that are beyond traumatic. I think was there very serious sexual abuse, physical abuse, and were there deaths of parents or people they loved, and were there people who helped them? Was there even one adult who helped them? Because as you all know, even that one adult can be, we know that in people who had very traumatic life histories, even one adult can make a huge difference. They can actually save a life emotionally. So I ask about that. It could be a neighbor, it could be a priest, it could be a teacher, it could be a grandpa or a grandma, it could be an older sibling. So I'm wanting to gather information about all of that, and I'm also then thinking about pre-adolescence, adolescence, what they remember about their sexual interests, their desire, the early romantic and sexual relationships, and I'll talk a bit about how I ask about the sexuality, and then moving on into the post-high school years. What happened after that? How was life after that? And then the entry into young adulthood. I see people only 18 and older, so I'm really, by the time if somebody comes to see me, they're already in college, or they might have completed college. So I ask about all of that, and this is in all these 3 sessions. It'll come up slowly, okay? And the way I ask about, and then of course if it's somebody who's had a number of relationships, I try to ask about the ones they can talk about. I do focus quite a bit on if there were other treatments they had, what happened in those treatments, what were there, what they felt was helpful, what they felt was not helpful. And at some point I ask about why they came to see me. Even if they were referred to me, why did they come to see me? And what if they have any thoughts or feelings as they're meeting me for the first time.